Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with all of the Nurse Hannah 17 Diapers mom updates. There are quite a few, and this video is going to upset a lot of y'all because if you've been following this story, I've been covering it for about a week, and in that short period of time, the things that I have shared about her have all been upsetting, and this is only, in my opinion, going to begin to stack upon one another. So it's tough, but I cannot believe people make the wrong people famous, especially on TikTok. And in a way, I'm glad that so many people know of her because now so many people know of exactly who she is. But either way, we're going to get into the updates in no particular order. I've just got several things here in front of me that I would like to share. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so as I have with the Resilient Jenkins, I'm going to go ahead and make a Nurse Hannah playlist so it's a little easier to follow along. I cover a lot of family vloggers and influencers, so I also understand that there's a point where it can become confusing if you're just watching this video and you want to see what else has been discussed or talked about up until this point. A playlist makes it easier, so I will go ahead and do that for y'all. This video will be on that playlist along with the prior videos that I've made over the last week or so. So first, let's talk about this Halloween video that she put up. She shows her toddler, whom in my opinion is the one that is not being treated fairly. Out of her two children, she is an infant and a toddler that is about 2.5 years old. This toddler is the one that is receiving so much unfair treatment at the hands of Hannah and her husband. You think of Halloween, and usually with toddlers, it's a little spooky, it's a little scary, but things like carving pumpkins and baking cookies and picking out a cute costume, and you get candy and stuff. It's such an exciting time of year for young kids. And if you tailor it for what's appropriate for their age, it's not supposed to scare the hell out of them or traumatize these children. It's supposed to be fun, and then you alter it the next year for depending on how old they are and, you know, what they're interested in. It can evolve as they get older. They decided to carve a pumpkin, and the reaction that this boy has when the father takes the stem out of the pumpkin with all of the pumpkin seeds and stuff dangling off of it, he goes to approach this child and immediate fear and protecting his face again. So this is the second time that this child has been shown protecting his face when he is approached with an object in his father's hand. That matters. To me, this is not a fight or flight response. This is a let me protect a part of my body that has been hurt, whether it was acute or major in the past. Let me protect that part of my body so it's not hurt again. This child, of course, in my last video, I talked about how he's been seen in numerous videos with a bandage on his nose, small marks on his face, and while a part of me understands that toddlers are very clumsy, they're playing, they're tripping, they're falling, they're, could have a toy accidentally hit them in the face if they're playing with it. For me, when you look at the whole picture of Nurse Hannah, my understanding for that situation dwindles every single time I see more content from her. But that's the pumpkin thing. Initially, he was so excited, and it immediately went from excited, something new, I'm, participating in, to fear within seconds. And to me, that says a lot. The next thing that I had saved is regarding how she many times has done morning routines, get ready with me, whatever. She shows that her toddler's bedroom is locked from the outside. Now, there is a laundry list of issues with this as far as safety goes. I automatically think of, what if there was something that this child needed to get away from? Whether it be a fire, an intruder, maybe he was just having a really scary dream and wanted to come find his parents because he's a literal baby, and babies are scared, and sometimes things wake them up in the middle of the night, whether it's a nightmare or a noise or whatever, and they go to their parents for comfort. How is he going to get out of his room if it's locked from the other side? I don't understand this. It seems completely irrational. I don't think that there's any reason that I could hear that would be like, okay, well, that makes sense, because any of the possible answers that she might provide, I think are all BS. Locking a toddler in their room is unacceptable. Next, let's touch on the food topic again, because it's very obvious that withholding food from this child is something that happens, I don't want to say often, but pretty consistently in this household. Because of Hannah's own videos, we can come to that conclusion. Here's another example of mom and dad sitting with a plate full of food, and this child is sitting with nothing in front of him. He is watching his two parents eat while he has no food to feed himself.
I can't do that. Now, the next way that we save a lot of money while we eat out is we don't order drink. We don't drink alcohol. We're not ordering sodas. We literally, when they come to get our drink order, we are only 100% of the time. If we have leftovers, we are bringing it home. I see so many people stand up from their table and leave half of their food there, and then it just gets thrown away. If I'm paying for that food, it's coming home with me if I didn't eat it. So anyways, that's how you eat cheap on vacation. Always making sure your hotel has a breakfast. Always doing research on restaurants before you actually get there on prices. Not blowing a ton of money on drinks and appetizers. And on today's episode of my husband giving me $10 for dinner tonight, we're at McDonald's. Mommy. Because I have renters at the house looking right now to see if they want to rent it, and I spent the last 3 hours looking at, like, cleaning the house, and there was no chance in heck I was going to cook food in that kitchen that is spotless. So we're here at McDonald's, and we're gonna sit here and play and eat chicken and have a good time. So let's go. Can I have one? You have one. Dippies. This one's mom's water. So I cleaned the house for 3 hours, so I could have this.
Because so
It's like a reward. I would say that free Jersey Mike sandwiches on your birthday is probably one of my favorite things ever, especially being 9 months pregnant. Something about a cold deli meat sandwich sub just slaps. I remember last time when I was pregnant with James, I was like, absolutely no deli meat, no hot dogs, no nothing, no sushi, no whatever. And this time around, I'm like, let's be real. The chances of anything happening are so freaking slim. I'm gonna enjoy this Jersey Mike sandwich. No, it's not my birthday. It's actually my husband's birthday, but we're splitting the sandwich because we also thought you can get a free Firehouse sub sandwich, but I guess they've changed that rule since then. Every single year, the stops on our birthdays are free Dutch Bros, free Jersey Mikes, and free Firehouse subs. This year with Firehouse subs, they made it so you have to use their app within the last like 90 days in order to qualify for the birthday deal, which was a huge freaking bummer. But anyways, the Jersey Mike sandwich still freaking slapped. James was asking for a bite, and I said, we're in the new car. I'm not giving you a whole sub sandwich, but you can have a bite of my bread. That's what you can have. And then I'll feed you something else when we get home. But no, these sandwiches are for mom and dad. Seriously, something about Jersey Mike's is probably one of my biggest pregnancy cravings, but it's so freaking expensive I never actually go. I could have downed this whole sandwich, but unfortunately I had to share with my husband.
Even though I am not a parent, I can tell y'all that there is absolutely no way that I would stuff my face before my child or my children have something to eat as well. My dog eats before me. The way that she treats her toddler is like, I wouldn't treat my dog like this. I would not lock my dog in a room. I would not allow him to go cold because I don't want to spend $35 on something to keep him warm. I would not indulge by shoving food down my throat If my dog has not eaten, and she is doing this to her own child, not once, not twice, but numerous times. There's also a video that I have saved that I will pop in right here, where she is putting hot sauce on this toddler's hard-boiled eggs. So she got pissy because she was eating hard-boiled eggs, and her child, whom in my opinion is not getting an adequate diet, was basically, in her frame of mind, he was begging for food. She decided to put hot sauce on this toddler's hard-boiled egg before he ate it. And I don't care if the hot sauce was mild. I don't care if it wasn't that spicy. To me, putting hot sauce on a child's food is a way to deter them from asking for more. Because she probably thought, this is spicy. A toddler probably isn't going to like something spicy. So I'll give him a little bit of this and then he'll stop begging for my food, even though this child is probably very hungry and in need of a meal. And that is why he is, in her eyes, begging.
So does anyone else's toddler kick and scream when you give them a plate of food, but then when you sit down to eat your food, then all of a sudden the food looks appetizing? I gave my 2-year-old this exact meal like 7 minutes ago. Literally for lunch today, all I'm eating is hard-boiled eggs. I made my toddler hard-boiled eggs because I was having hard-boiled eggs. I put him in his high chair with the eggs in front of him, and he thought it was the most disgusting, repulsive thing in the entire earth. I got him out of his chair and I said, fine, don't eat lunch then. Then I sat down to eat my lunch, and now look at his face. It's the most delicious thing ever. Like, why is that? What is the science behind that? Because if I eat off of his plate, it doesn't help him to think that his food's good. But if this is science, and this happens when they're a newborn, because even my newborn knows the exact minute that I sit down to eat my own food. My newborn could be fast asleep, completely zonked. And the second I sit down with my fork and knife to eat my food, that baby wakes up hungry. And if you're a mom, you know exactly 100% what I'm talking about. Children just know when the moms are eating. Children and moms never eat at the same time unless the child is eating the mom's food. And I'm not wrong on that one. So lately, either my food's gonna be cold or I'm gonna be feeding my newborn while I eat my food. And that's the life as a chaotic mom.
Nurse Hannah was also on the Avery Woods podcast, and obviously with everything unfolding and being exposed about Hannah, people have asked Avery, what's going on? She was on your podcast, blah, blah, blah. This comment that I saved said, wait, Nurse Hannah was on Cheers. Cheers is the name of Avery's podcast. Avery responded and said, episodes are gone now. I can no longer support her. So I understand the idea of getting rid of the content, whatever. But in my mind, because this is somebody that you platformed, I think that it should have also been paired with a video on your largest platform, which to my knowledge is TikTok, explaining to people why you no longer support her and why you are no longer platforming her and why you have removed the content. But that's just me. People may disagree with that, but I think deleting it paired with a statement would have been better, simply because you platformed her. It was your podcast. There's also this other video from last month where she says, my take on toddlers and mealtime, where she calls her toddler eating a chore.
So one thing about me and my parenting is that you're not getting down from the table until your food is gone. Lately, dinner time and mealtime with my toddler is becoming such a freaking chore. I don't know, I've come this far to not just come this far. I'm sorry, but we're not having cereal for dinner. We're not having goldfish for dinner. If I make dinner, we're having dinner. I'm not giving my toddler ridiculous huge size portions. He's having a very normal portion for a 2-year-old. I grew up that you don't waste food. So when you have dinner, you don't get down from the table until your plate is gone. If you don't like that food, I grew up, you better plug your nose and you better eat it. Like, I can tell you right now, my least favorite food when I was a child was lasagna. I hated lasagna so much, but I have vivid memories of me like plugging my nose trying to get that down. No, I'm not like traumatized by it. Some people say, oh, this will traumatize your children. It doesn't traumatize you. Honestly, it just makes you grow up to not be a picky eater. Because now, lasagna, I love lasagna. I don't know why I was so afraid of it when I was a kid. Honestly, I think it was a texture problem. I hated cottage cheese. I mean, let's be real. I still don't like the texture of cottage cheese, but I'll still eat it. But I don't know. Mealtime with my toddler lately is just becoming such a chore. Like, sometimes dinner time can last like 45 minutes, if I'm being honest. Sometimes more. And sometimes we're bribing him that if he finishes his whole meal, then he can have cookie or ice cream or whatever. Is anyone else like this, or is that just me?
With it being Sunday and we're not wanting to go out to eat today, we're wanting to chill at the house. Luckily, we have a little bit of Buffalo Wild Wings, that buffalo sauce that's like kind of hot, so we're gonna see how it works today. Honestly, what I really want to do is just go over to B-Dubs and get like this hottest spice things possible. Like, to me, if this food is not making me sweat. Well, good morning to everybody except for James, who felt the need to just full on touch the waffle iron this morning. Why would you touch that? Come here. Come here. Lately, we are just 100% in the stage of he has to learn the hard way, unfortunately.
I realize that as parents and as non-parents, we as human beings have tough days, maybe even tough weeks or tough months. But when you sign up to be a parent, that is literally what you are signing up for. I don't know of anybody who has become a parent and thought, maybe I won't have to feed them some days. Maybe I don't have to give them a bath some days. Maybe they can just wander around in dirty diapers, because she has also said that she does not change her children's diapers unless they are soiled. There are obviously so many issues with that. You cannot allow a baby to sit in its own urine without that probably causing some pretty severe skin issues. That is disgusting.
I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee. I've never done that. Do you know how expensive diapers are? I have friends and people that I know that they peed, we have to change their diaper. And I'm like, they peed? Literally, I will change his diaper if he poops. Or if it's a very full diaper. Diapers are so freaking expensive. I'm not out here changing his diaper every time he pees. I would be going through 30 diapers a day.
And now I'm thinking about the 17 dirty diapers and thinking, was that actually one day? Or was that a few days? Because if you're stingy and you're not wanting to spend money on diapers, then how did you have 17 in one day? Or was the 17 diapers thing just all fabricated and all a lie?
Biting of any sort. If you do that, I'm just gonna do it right back to you. If you bite, I'm gonna bite you. Not hard, but enough that hey, that doesn't feel good. Don't go biting people. Don't go hitting people. It's gonna happen right back to you. You need to eat your food. If you're still hungry after what I give you is gone, then you can have something else. If you want cereal for dinner, you better eat what you have for dinner, and then you can have your cereal if you're still hungry afterwards. Nap time is nap time. If for some reason you're not tired and it's nap time, you can go hang out in your bed, you can go hang out in your crib, whatever, but nap time's nap time, because that's also my break.
I pay 10% of all of my money to the Mormon church every single month. Let me tell you why. Now, I've mentioned this in the past, and there seems to be some confusion. A lot of people just don't seem to understand why you would pay 10% to a church. It's not like the Mormon church is lacking in the money department. I'm not donating to the pastor or the bishop or the leaders of the church. That's what a lot of people have told me.
Okay, so I'm 30 weeks pregnant and I still haven't gone to the doctor yet. I'm not trying to make this controversial here. I genuinely just want to chat about it. I'm 30 weeks, haven't gone to the doctor yet. My insurance, I think, is active now. I have it. I'm trying to get on a better insurance plan. It's not working out too well. I keep getting denied from all of the government programs and other good programs out there. I keep getting denied from them, from Utah. Basically, I have insurance. I need to make an appointment here. I'm hoping... I keep forgetting to call, basically. It's my own fault. It's my own dang fault. I always remember to call, make an appointment at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. when the offices are closed. Like right now, it's almost 5 o'clock, and I should have called, but I just forget. I actually did call one of the hospitals around me the other day, and I chatted with them for a long time until we realized that they don't take my insurance. So, there's another hospital in the area. It's a little bit further away. I'll probably still keep the appointments pretty minimal, but just enough to get a few ultrasounds, probably check for gestational diabetes, do some blood work, stuff like that. But funny enough, I've actually talked to quite a few people lately that are pregnant that also believe the same way I do, that they're just also not that prenatal care is not important or necessary or a waste of time or whatever. They also just you know what, I also don't have the time for it, or I'm at work Monday through Friday, so it's hard to get in, or I'm sure once I find a doctor and actually get in, I'm sure there will be a little bit of judgment. Typically when I have taken James to the doctor in the past, or I've gone, like last pregnancy when I didn't go to the doctor a whole lot and I explained to the doctor, there's a little bit of judgment. That's basically my update. It's not too exciting. Basically, I have insurance. I need to call. I've called one place. They don't take my insurance. It's not laziness. It's just, I'm just forgetful, basically. It's just not on my mind. It hasn't been on my mind for 30 weeks. I haven't been like anxious about it or anything. And so it's just like not on my mind. So now that I actually can go to the doctor, I forget.
Well, if this right here doesn't say struggle bus this morning, I don't know what will. You know, I was rushing this morning to go get my hair done, and I was trying to be a nice mom and make pancakes, and you know what? It just ended up with James falling off the chair. I mean, he was fine afterwards, but he did just cry and sob for a good chunk of time after that. Something that I didn't really have time for today. But yes, I am getting my hair done today, and I have not gotten my hair done in years. You know, my husband always talks about, like, what would you look like blonde? Because I have, like, black hair. I've gotten highlights before or a little balayage, but I've never done anything, like, really drastic. But I'm thinking today we're gonna go drastic. Getting your hair done nowadays is just so expensive.
So, of course, I will have miscellaneous videos peppered throughout this, but that's basically what's been going on with Hannah over the last 48 hours or so. And the videos that have come across my timeline and are, you know, going pretty viral for good reason. I have heard from numerous people that the Utah CPS is now aware and involved with Hannah and her children. I don't know what will come of that. I mean, after all, they were also called on Ruby Frankie and nothing happened there. So I'm not sure. Does Utah CPS just, you know, knock on a door and then forget about it? I'm not sure. But people have to start thinking on a deeper level who they're giving a platform to. Because I am so sick and tired and brain dead from these diabolical little mommy vloggers and family vloggers sitting here and uploading all of this content, becoming famous, and then it's like, oh, well, now she's being canceled, and all of these videos that were there the whole time, y'all allowed her to become famous, and the videos were still there. I didn't know about Hannah. If I did, I would have covered her a long time ago, but I just hope that her kids are okay. But I'm going to move on with my evening. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.